I still hear her voice in my head when I close my eyes. I need stability, Aiden. You can't give me that. Those words came out of Mia's mouth like she had rehearsed them for weeks. I remember staring at her, trying to understand how she could say something so cold. What do you mean I can't give you that? I asked, my voice shaking. She looked away, almost bored. I'm tired of waiting for your life to start. I reached for her hand, desperate. Mia, please don't do this. Just talk to me. Tell me what's wrong. She pulled her hand back quickly, like my touch burned her. Everything is wrong, she said. You keep dreaming, but dreams don't pay bills. My chest felt tight, and I whispered, I'm trying. You know I'm trying. She shook her head. Trying isn't enough. Before I could answer, her mother stepped closer with that familiar judgmental stare. Aiden, she needs someone who can take care of her, she said. Ethan can do that. He's a better investment. I felt my stomach twist because she said it so casually, like love was a business deal. Investment? I repeated. Is that all I ever was to you? Mia didn't speak. She just lowered her eyes. Then Ethan walked in with that confident smirk. Ready? He asked her, like this was already decided. I looked straight at him. You think you can just take her like she's something you bought? He shrugged. She made her choice. Mia didn't deny it. She didn't even look at me. I stepped closer to her. Mia, look at me. Please. Tell me this isn't the end. She finally lifted her eyes, but they held nothing for me. I'm sorry, Aiden, she said softly. I can't keep living on promises. My heart cracked open right there. So you're leaving me because I'm not rich? I asked. She hesitated only a second. I need stability, she repeated. I felt everything inside me collapse. If I mattered to you, you would have stayed, I whispered. She shook her head. I did love you. But love isn't enough. Her mother touched her arm. Let's go, Mia. Ethan smirked again, and she walked toward him without looking back. I stood there frozen, hearing every piece of my heartbeat fall apart. Lily found me minutes later. Aiden? What happened? She asked, voice soft. I could barely speak. She left, I said. For him. Lily touched my shoulder gently. I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve that. I stepped back, unable to handle kindness. Please don't, I said. I can't fall apart right now. She frowned. You don't have to face this alone. I shook my head. I do. I have to fix myself. No one else will. When I finally walked home, the world looked different, like everything had dimmed. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, hearing her voice again and again. I need stability. I repeated it until the pain turned into something sharper. That night, I made a promise to myself. I would never feel this powerless again. I would rise, no matter how long it took. And one day, she would see exactly what she lost that I didn't know a heart could stay heavy for days, but mine did. Every morning felt like waking up underwater. One night Daniel asked, You okay? And I said, Do I look okay? He sighed. You look like someone kicked your soul. I laughed weakly. Someone did. A week after the breakup, Ethan showed up outside the store where I worked. He leaned against his car and smirked. So, still here? Still broke. I clenched my jaw. What do you want? He shrugged. Just checking on the guy Mia outgrew. My fists tightened. Walk away, Ethan. He stepped closer. She made the right choice. You know that, right? Something inside me snapped, and I moved forward, ready to swing. Daniel rushed out and grabbed my arm. Aiden, stop. Ethan laughed. Look at you. Still emotional, still weak. Daniel shoved me back. Get out of here before he does something stupid, he said to Ethan. Ethan smirked one last time and drove off. I yelled, Why did you stop me? Daniel snapped back, because punching him won't fix your life. I looked away, shaking. I'm tired, man. He lowered his voice. Then use that pain. Don't waste it. His words stuck with me. So I threw myself into anything I could find. Night shifts, delivery runs, extra hours. When Lily saw me one morning, she said, You're pushing yourself too hard. I replied, Good. I need to. She frowned. Destroying yourself isn't the answer. I shook my head. I'm not destroying anything. I'm rebuilding. But rebuilding didn't feel noble. It felt messy, ugly, heavy. At night I lay awake hearing Mia say, you can't give me stability. Those words were knives. I whispered into the dark, why wasn't I enough? Some nights anger filled me. Other nights shame crushed me. I hated that she still had this hold on me. One evening after work, I sat in a cafe scribbling notes for a business idea. My hands were shaking from exhaustion, but I kept whispering, come on, Aiden, think. Lily called me, asking, are you eating? I muttered, later. She sighed. Promise me you're not spiraling. I stared at the paper. I'm fighting, I said softly. I just don't know if I'm winning. While I worked on my rough pitch, an older man at the next table suddenly asked, is that your idea? I looked up, surprised. Yeah, sorry if I'm being loud. He waved a hand. No. I heard enough to know you onto something. I frowned. You did. He nodded. Most people complain about their lives. You're trying to change yours. That caught my attention. I swallowed. I'm trying, sir. He chuckled. Call me Mr. Gray. And tell me, are you serious about this plan? I straightened. Yes. Completely. He studied me for a moment. Good. Because I could use someone with fire. My breath caught. Fire. He nodded. Passion. Hunger. You have both. I stared at him. What are you saying? He smiled. I'm offering you an internship. Come by my office tomorrow. For the first time in weeks, something inside me shifted. A small spark. A tiny piece of hope. Walking into Mr. Gray's building felt like stepping into another universe. Everything was glass, steel, and confidence, things I didn't have yet. At the front desk, a woman said, name? And I answered, Aiden Cole, new intern. She smiled politely and pointed me toward the elevators. When the doors opened on the 14th floor, a girl with sharp eyes and a sharper smile approached me. You must be the cafe guy, she said. I blinked. I guess. She laughed. Relax. I'm Sophia Gray. Try to keep up, okay? I scratched my head. I'll do my best. She smirked. You'll need more than that. She walked fast, explaining assignments like she expected me to already know everything. This report needs restructuring, she said, dropping a file in my hands. And don't mess up the formatting. I hate messy work. I opened the file and muttered, okay, simple enough. She shot me a look. There is nothing simple here. I realized she wasn't kidding after an hour. I had already made 2 mistakes. When I brought the file back, she frowned. This part is wrong. I swallowed. Sorry. I'll fix it. She crossed her arms. Do it again, Aiden. Her tone wasn't cruel, just brutally honest. By lunch, I felt like I'd been hit by a bus. When Lily called, she asked, how's day 1? I groaned. I think I already disappointed everyone here. She laughed. Come on, you always think that. You're learning. That's progress. I sighed. I hope someone else agrees with you. When I returned to my desk, Sophia dropped another file beside me. Round 2, she said. I asked, any advice? She raised a brow. Yes. Don't repeat your old mistakes. I muttered, right? No pressure. She smirked. Exactly. The hours passed painfully. I kept misplacing numbers, adjusting sections, rewriting whole paragraphs. At one point I whispered to myself, I won't lose again. I won't. When Sophia overheard, she paused. What did you say? I shook my head. Nothing. Just talking to myself. She stared at me for a moment, then nodded slowly, like she saw something shift in me. At the end of the day, she said, you survived. Barely. But you didn't quit. I exhaled. Didn't plan to. She leaned against the desk. Good. Most people cry their first week. I laughed weakly. I might after I get home. She actually smiled. You'll improve. That night, I sat on my bed staring at the mirror. Don't lose again, I whispered. Don't ever let them look down on you. My chest tightened, but not from pain, more like determination. The next day, I worked twice as hard. When Sophia pointed out a mistake, I corrected it quickly. When she pushed more tasks on me, I took them without complaining. After hours of intense work, she finally said, you're getting sharper. I asked, is that a compliment? She shrugged. Maybe. Lily called again later. Aiden, you sound different, she said. More focused. I'm proud of you. I closed my eyes. Thanks. I needed that. By the end of the week, I started understanding the rhythm of the office. My hands moved faster, my mind clearer. It felt like something inside me was waking up. One afternoon, Mr. Gray called out, "Aiden, my office." My stomach tightened. When I walked in, he studied me quietly before saying, "You have fire. Don't let it die." I swallowed hard. "I won't, sir." He nodded. "Good. This world eats the weak." As I left his office, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time: seen, valued, capable. And in that moment, I promised myself I would rise high enough that no one would ever call me not enough again. "I need you in the conference room in 10, Daniel said as he stepped beside my desk. His voice was calm, but his eyes carried that rare spark, the one he only showed when something big was happening. "What's going on?" I asked. "You're leading the negotiation today," he replied. "The partners requested you specifically." My chest tightened. "Me? Are you sure?" Daniel smirked. "You've earned it. Don't overthink. Just walk in and own the room." I nodded, grabbing my notes even though I already knew this deal inside out. As I headed toward the glass conference room, Sophia caught up to me. "Is it true?" she whispered. "You're leading this one?" "Looks like it." She grinned. "I knew they'd notice you eventually. Try not to disappear afterward. I want all the details." I laughed under my breath. "If it goes well, maybe." "It will." "You're annoyingly focused," she teased, tapping my arm before walking away. I inhaled deeply, pushed open the conference room door, and froze for half a second. Ethan was standing there. Of all people. Of all days. He looked up, expecting someone else. The moment his eyes landed on me, his face drained. "You?" he blurted. What are you doing here?" I placed my folder on the table and pulled out a chair. "Surprising, right?" He blinked hard. "You're not? No, this must be a joke." "Wish I had time for jokes," I said calmly. "Let's begin." One of the clients shook my hand. "We've heard a lot about your analytical approach," he said. "We're excited." Ethan stiffened. He's leading this?" he asked under his breath. "I am," I replied. "Is that a problem?" He didn't answer. He only swallowed and sat down. During the presentation, he kept shifting, tapping a pen, clearing his throat, clearly trying to throw me off. I kept speaking anyway, my voice steady. Every slide I explained, every question I answered, every objection I addressed, it all flowed naturally. Halfway through, the lead investor leaned forward. "Your strategy is more realistic than what we were pitched before." Ethan flinched. I didn't look at him. I kept my eyes on the room. "My goal is simple: transparency and sustainable growth. Nothing hidden." The investor nodded. "We appreciate that." When the meeting ended, they shook my hand again. "We'll move forward with your proposal," the lead partner said. As they left, I exhaled slowly. Ethan just stared at me. "You planned this," he muttered. "No," I said. "I just worked." He clenched his jaw. "You think you're something now?" "I don't think," I replied. "I just am." Before he could respond, Daniel entered. "That was impressive," he said, looking straight at me. "I'm finally proud of how far you've come." The words hit harder than I expected. I nodded, unable to speak for a moment. After Daniel walked out, Sophia appeared in the doorway with a bright smile. "Well? Should I congratulate you now or pretend you didn't just destroy a room full of suits?" I chuckled. "It wasn't destruction. Just clarity." She stepped closer. "Whatever it was, you handled it like someone who knows their worth." "Maybe I'm learning," I said quietly. As she left, I noticed Mia standing near the end of the hallway, pretending to scroll her phone. She glanced up when I looked at her, expression unreadable. Rumors were already spreading. I could feel it in the way people whispered, in the way they suddenly made space for me. But I acted normal, walking back to my desk like nothing had changed. Inside, though? Inside, something burned hot and electric. Not anger. Not revenge. Transformation. I wasn't the boy who begged for attention. I wasn't the one waiting for someone to choose me. I wasn't the one hoping love would fix anything. I was becoming someone else, someone sharper, steadier, stronger. A man stepping out of the fire, and deciding his own direction. My destiny wasn't something I was chasing anymore. It was something I was shaping. I first heard Mia was asking about me when Harper cornered me near the elevators. She whispered, "Don't get mad, but Mia's been calling everyone. She wants to talk to you." I sighed. "I'm not interested." "She regrets leaving you," Harper murmured. "Apparently Ethan treats her like property." "That's not my problem," I replied, stepping inside the elevator before she could say more. But my chest tightened. I hated that it still affected me. Later that night, as I walked toward my building, I heard someone say my name. "Please, please don't walk away." I turned and saw Mia. Her eyes were red, her hair messy, and she looked nothing like the girl who left me behind. "Mia," I said flatly. "You shouldn't be here." "Just listen," she begged. "I've been calling because I made a mistake." I forced myself to keep my expression calm. "You made your choice." "I know," she cried. "I know what I did. But Ethan, he's not who I thought. He controls everything I do. He doesn't let me breathe. I miss who I was with you." "That's unfortunate," I replied. "But that chapter's closed." She reached for my arm. "Please, don't talk like that. I didn't come here to beg for us to get back together. I need you to hear me. I'm sorry." I pulled my arm away. "And what exactly do you want from me? Forgiveness?" "No," she whispered. "Just a chance to explain." "You already did," I said. "And I don't need to hear it again." Her voice cracked. "You're different. Stronger. Colder." "Maybe I finally learned something," I said. "Maybe I finally realized I don't have to chase people who walk away." She flinched, looking down. "I deserve that." "I'm not trying to hurt you," I muttered. I don't want to go backwards." "Then just tell me you don't hate me," she whispered. "Please. I can live with everything else, but not that." I hesitated. "I don't hate you. But I'm not responsible for your regrets." Mia wiped her cheeks with trembling hands. "I shouldn't have come. I just needed to see you standing on your own. I needed to see what I lost." I didn't respond. I didn't trust myself to. She stepped back. "Goodbye," she said softly. I hope you become everything you're trying to be." She walked away, and I didn't stop her. When I entered the building, Sophia was waiting near the lobby couch. I froze. I hadn't expected anyone to see that. She raised an eyebrow. "Was that your ex?" "Yeah," I muttered. "Are you okay?" she asked, stepping closer. "I'm fine." "You don't look fine." "I said I'm fine," I repeated, too quickly. Sophia crossed her arms. "You don't have to lie." "And you don't have to worry," I said. "It's nothing." She studied my face for a long moment. "If you ever want to talk." "I won't," I interrupted. "But thanks." She sighed and walked toward the stairs. "Just don't let old wounds slow you down. You've worked too hard to bleed now." I didn't answer. I just watched her go. When I finally reached my apartment, I leaned against the door and tried to catch my breath. I hated how easily Mia could still tear through me. I hated that part of me wanted to comfort her. I hated that another part of me wanted to scream at her. Anger, desire, pride, fear. They all churned inside me like a storm refusing to settle. I whispered to myself, this is the past trying to pull me back. But when I closed my eyes, I realized I wasn't that broken boy anymore. And I wasn't going back. When Mia first tried calling again, I ignored it. But when she started showing up everywhere, I realized she wasn't going to let this go quietly. One morning, as I stepped out of the lobby, she rushed toward me. "Aiden, wait. Please just talk to me." I kept walking. "I already did." "No," she insisted, blocking my path. "I didn't get to say everything. I made a mistake. I miss you." "You miss the man you left behind," I said. "Not me." "That's not true," she argued. "You've changed. You're stronger, confident. Everything I knew you could be." I almost laughed. Funny how people notice your potential only when you stop needing their approval. She reached for my wrist. "I know I hurt you. But Ethan." "I'm not your therapist," I cut in. "I'm not fixing your choices." She looked like she wanted to cry, but she stayed silent. I walked past her and headed toward work, forcing myself not to look back. By lunchtime, Ethan found me. He stormed into the cafe where I was reviewing documents. "You think you can talk to her whenever you want?" I looked up slowly. "I don't talk to her. She corners me." "She says you're manipulating her," he snapped. trying to get in her head. I set my pen down. The only person who manipulates Mia is the one staring at me right now. Ethan slammed his fist on the table. You're getting too confident. Or maybe you're just losing control, I replied. Either way, control your own life. Not mine. For a second, he looked like he would throw a punch, but the cafe was too full. He gritted his teeth and hissed, "Stay away from her." I'm not the one chasing anyone, I said calmly. He left, but the tension clung to me like smoke. That evening, I stayed late at the office to avoid running into Mia again. I was heading toward the elevator when Sophia appeared, holding a stack of files. You look like you're 2 seconds away from punching someone, she said. Ethan, I muttered. His unhinged. She narrowed her eyes. Did he threaten you? Not directly. That's enough for me, she said. I'll handle it. No, I told her. This is my mess. Sophia stepped closer. Is it? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like your past is trying to sabotage your present. I didn't respond. She sighed. Aiden, she left you. You rebuilt yourself. Don't let her break you again. It's not that simple, I said quietly. Seeing her like that, it brings everything back. The anger. The pain. The version of me I never want to be again. And she knows that, Sophia replied. People who regret their choices always come back to the ones they wounded. I leaned against the wall, rubbing my face. I don't want to hate her. But I don't want anything from her either. So stop giving her space to affect you, Sophia said gently. You don't owe her healing. Before I could respond, the elevator doors opened. Sophia stepped inside, then looked at me and added, You deserve better than someone who sees your worth only after someone else ruins her. Her words lingered long after she was gone. The next day, Mia intercepted me again outside the building. Aiden, please, she begged. I know you're angry. I know you don't trust me. But everything about you now, the way you talk, the way you walk, this is who you always were to me. Then why didn't you stay? I asked. She swallowed hard. Because I was stupid. Because I listened to people who didn't care about me. Because Ethan made promises he never kept. I thought stability meant choosing him. And now? I asked. Now I see that stability comes from being beside someone who grows, she whispered. And you grew. I shook my head. I didn't grow for you. I know, she said. But I wish you had. Her voice cracked, and something twisted inside me, anger colliding with sympathy, resentment clashing with old memories. 2 women. 2 pulls. One was my past crashing into me like a storm. The other was my present, steady but sharp, reminding me I had changed. And somewhere inside me, the turmoil churned, fear, desire, pride, confusion, every emotion fighting for control. I took a slow breath. I don't know what I feel anymore, I admitted. But I know what I won't do. I won't let the past decide my future. Mia's eyes filled with tears, but she nodded. I walked away before I could change my mind. And for the first time, I felt the weight of 2 roads pulling at my chest, one familiar, one new, and I wasn't sure which one scared me more. Harper found me in the break room, looking unusually nervous. I was making coffee when she said, Aiden, there's something you need to know. I didn't look up. If this is about Mia again, I'm done listening. It's not what you think, she whispered. There's more, something she never told you. That made me turn. What? Harper swallowed hard. She didn't leave you just because Ethan had money. Ethan offered her mother a business deal if she convinced Mia to choose him. My grip tightened on the mug. What deal? A franchise expansion, she said. Huge money. Life-changing. Her mom pressured her non-stop. Ethan made sure she couldn't say no. My chest burned. So she sold me out, for a contract. I'm sorry, Harper whispered. I shouldn't have told you, but you deserve to know. The mug clattered as I set it down too hard. I need to hear it from her. I didn't wait for Harper to answer. I grabbed my coat and left the office, anger swirling through me like smoke I couldn't breathe out. I texted Mia one word, outside. She came down within minutes, breathless. Aiden, what happened? Why are you? Why didn't you tell me the truth? I asked. Her eyes widened. What truth? That Ethan bought your mother, I said. That you didn't just choose him, you took a deal. Her face drained of color. Who told you that? It doesn't matter, I said. Is it true? She hesitated, Just for a second, but it was enough. She collapsed against the railing, covering her face. Aiden. I didn't want you to know. Say it, I demanded. She sobbed. Yes. Ethan offered her a business expansion. My mother said it was the smart choice. She said loving you was risky. And you listened, I said quietly. I was scared, she cried. You had nothing. No savings. No plan. I thought. You didn't choose safety, I cut in. You chose greed. No, she pleaded. I didn't want to lose you, but I didn't know how to choose you when everything around me said I shouldn't. I stepped back when she reached for me. Don't. Aiden, please, she begged. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Ethan promised everything, and I thought he could give me the life you couldn't. The words hit me like a blade. She whispered, I didn't love him. I just loved what he could give. And now? I asked, my voice cold. Now everything feels empty, she admitted. Because I lost the one person who ever loved me without conditions. I felt something crack inside me, but I didn't let it break me. Then a voice exploded behind us. Mia. What the hell are you doing? Ethan stormed toward us, face twisted with rage. Are you seriously running back to him? Mia flinched. Ethan, stop. This isn't. No, he snapped. It is. You're making me look like an idiot. I stepped slightly in front of her, not for protection, just instinct. Ethan pointed at her. I gave you everything. You and your mother. And this is how you repay me? Crying to him like some. Enough, I said. He turned on me instantly. Stay out of this. She's the one who came to me, I replied. Not the other way around. Mia whispered, Ethan, please don't do this here. You ruined everything, Ethan hissed toward her. This whole relationship is a disaster because you can't stay loyal to the hand that saved you. Saved me? Mia's voice cracked. You owned me. I invested in you, he snapped. And you're a horrible return. Her knees buckled as she whispered, you never loved me. I never had to, Ethan said coldly. You weren't built for love, just convenience. The words silenced everything inside me. Mia broke, sobbing uncontrollably, her entire world shattering in front of both of us. Ethan turned away, muttering, we're done, before walking off without a glance back. I stood there, watching Mia crumble. She reached out with shaking hands. Aiden. I'm sorry. For everything. I wish I could undo it. I stepped back. Some wounds weren't meant to be reopened. Some choices weren't meant to be forgiven. I hope you heal, I said quietly. But not with me. And I walked away, leaving her tears behind in the cold night air, knowing that no amount of regret could rebuild what she destroyed. The first notification hit my phone at 7 a.m. Then another. Then 50 more. By the time I opened the links, my hands were shaking. Ethan had leaked fake screenshots, messages making it look like I'd harassed clients, mismanaged funds, even flirted for promotions. Within an hour, my name was trending. I whispered to myself, what did he do? Sophia rushed to my desk. Aiden, look at me. Breathe. I shoved the screen toward her. He's destroying everything I built. She scanned the posts, jaw tight. These are fake. Obviously fake. It doesn't matter, I said. People want drama more than truth. Lily stormed in next. Aiden, don't panic. We'll handle this. How? I asked. The whole internet thinks I'm some snake chasing power. No, Lily said, touching my arm. Only people who believe Ethan. My chest burned with a mix of fear and anger. I worked too hard to end like this. Sophia leaned closer. Then we won't let it. Before I could answer, my phone rang. Mr. Gray. I swallowed hard and picked up. Sir. Come to my office, he said. Now. The walk felt like a death sentence. When I stepped inside, he closed the door quietly and sat down. He didn't ask if I was okay. He didn't ask what happened. He just said, fight back. Cleanly. I blinked. Sir. If you let him drag you into the mud, you lose, he said calmly. Prove your innocence. Don't shout it. Sophia stepped forward. We can track the metadata on those screenshots. They'll fall apart in seconds. Mr. Gray nodded. Good. And gather statements from clients. Real ones. Credible ones. Lily said, I'll talk to Harper. She knows how Ethan's team works. I looked at all of them. You're really standing with me? Sophia crossed her arms. Of course. We don't let cowards win. Mr. Gray added, if you crumble now, you're not the man I thought you were. Something inside me snapped back into place. I straightened. Okay. Let's fight. For the next 6 hours, we gathered everything: metadata files, client emails, call logs, internal system records. The evidence stacked up like bricks in a wall Ethan couldn't break. When the company announced a press meeting to address the accusations, my heart pounded so loudly it echoed in my ears. Mia was already there, eyes puffy. Ethan stood beside her, looking smug, confident, untouchable. He smirked when he saw me. Aiden, ready to watch your little empire fall apart? I stepped closer. No. Are you? What's that supposed to mean? You'll see. The room filled with reporters and employees. Mr. Gray walked to the front and said, let's begin. He gestured for me to speak. I took a deep breath. Every accusation against me is fabricated. And we can prove it. Ethan scoffed loudly. Oh please. Mr. Gray cut him off with a single raised hand. Let the evidence speak. Sophia connected her laptop to the projector. Click. The first file appeared. Metadata, edited by Ethan. Click. Call logs showing Ethan contacting friends hours before the leak. Click. A client video call where Ethan was caught mocking me, saying, watch how fast he falls. The room erupted. Reporters began whispering. Ethan's face drained of color. This is taken out of context. Mr. Gray said, would you like us to play the rest? You mentioned bribing 2 employees. Ethan stumbled back. Stop. Lily stepped forward with printed statements. 3 clients confirmed Aiden never even messaged them. A reporter shouted, Ethan, is this a coordinated smear campaign? Another yelled, do you deny fabricating evidence? Ethan froze, words dying in his throat. Then Mia snapped. You ruined everything, she screamed at him. You said this would make us look strong, not destroy us. Shut up, Ethan hissed, but panic choked his voice. She pushed him. You dragged me into your mess. You promised power, not humiliation. He ran a shaking hand through his hair. I didn't think it would get this far. Security stepped in as the board members murmured among themselves. Within minutes, the announcement came. Ethan Williams is officially removed from his position and under investigation. The room buzzed with shock. I just stood there, breathing slowly, watching the man who once sneered at me fall apart like wet paper. It should have felt like victory. But instead, it felt strangely empty. Sophia touched my arm. You did it. Lily whispered, we knew you would. Mr. Gray nodded. You fought cleanly. That matters. I looked at the chaos around me, Ethan shouting, Mia crying, reporters pushing in, and realized something. I wasn't the boy who once cried over them. I was someone stronger now. Someone they couldn't break again. I need to talk to you, Mia whispers the moment I open the door. Her eyes look swollen, her hands shaking like she barely made it here without falling apart. I step back cautiously. Mia, what happened? She stumbles inside, clutching her bag to her chest. I lost everything. My job. My friends. My reputation. Ethan threw me under the bus the moment things went wrong. Everyone believes his lies, and now, her voice breaks. I only have you. Her words hit me like cold water. I close the door slowly. Sit down. She shakes her head. No, I need you to hear me. Please. She presses her hands together desperately. I messed up. I messed up so badly. I keep my arms crossed. Talk. You were the only good thing I ever had, she says, breathing unevenly. I pushed you away because I thought I could do better. I thought Ethan made me powerful, important, but he used me. And when it collapsed, he didn't even look back. She drags her fingers through her hair. I'm such an idiot. I stay quiet, letting her unravel. I ignored your love. I ignored your loyalty. I treated you like you weren't enough. And now, she laughs weakly, the sound hollow. Now I know I'm the one who wasn't enough. I swallow the nut building in my throat. Mia. She steps closer. I need you. I've never said that out loud before, but I need you. You always loved me more than anyone else ever has. Please give me one last chance. Her voice breaks completely, and tears run down her cheeks. Watching her cry like this feels unreal, like a moment I once imagined, but now it feels heavy, not satisfying. What do you want me to say? I ask quietly. She shakes her head. Say you still love me. Say we can fix this. Say I'm not as alone as I feel right now. I look at her trembling hands, her broken posture, her eyes begging for something I used to offer freely. Part of me feels that old love, the memory of what we once were, the softness I used to carry for her. But the rest of me has grown past it. Mia, I breathe out slowly. I loved you once. Truly. Deeply. Enough to forgive anything. Enough to bend until I broke. I let the silence stretch. But I don't love what you became. She freezes, eyes wide, like she didn't expect the words to cut that sharply. No, don't say that. She grabs my arm. Please, don't let me lose you too. I gently remove her hand. You didn't lose me today. You lost me long before this, when you chose someone else while expecting me to wait in the shadows. She sinks to her knees, the weight of everything finally crushing her. I'm begging you, she whispers through sobs. Just one more chance. I'll fix everything. I'll be better. I'll be the girl you loved. My heart aches, but not the way it used to. This ache feels like letting go. I can't go backward, I say softly. And you can't build a future from regret. She cries harder, covering her face, shaking uncontrollably. Please, don't leave. I turn toward the door. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is no. She whimpers, don't walk away from me. I open the door. I have to, I whisper. The sound of her sobbing follows me into the hallway, echoing like a ghost of everything we used to be. But for the first time, walking away doesn't feel like losing. It feels like finally choosing myself. The morning light hit my office window, and I realized I hadn't thought about Mia in hours. Not that I'd stopped caring entirely, just that my focus had shifted. My work, my goals, the people who stayed with me when no one else did, that was my world now. Sophia walked in carrying coffee. You've been here since 6, she said with a teasing smile. You're obsessed. I'm focused, I replied, taking the cup she handed me. I have too much at stake to waste time. She raised an eyebrow. Or maybe you're finally putting yourself first. I paused, considering her words. Maybe both. You're smiling, she noted, leaning against the desk. Not that fake, guarded smile either. I laughed softly. It feels like relief, actually. Like breathing after holding my breath for years. Lily called me later that day. You finally look happy again, she said warmly. I've been waiting to see this version of you. Thanks, Lily, I replied. It's been a long road. You earned it, she added. All those sleepless nights, all that frustration, it's paying off. I leaned back in my chair. I guess pain has a way of shaping you, if you let it. Daniel stopped by in the evening, checking on the progress of the new project. You didn't win because you got revenge, he said quietly, resting a hand on my shoulder. You won because you grew. You became someone they can't break. I nodded slowly. That's what I'm realizing. Every mistake, every betrayal, every heartbreak, it was training. He smiled. Exactly. And now? Now you decide what comes next. I've been deciding every day, I said, sipping my coffee. And each decision is about myself, not anyone else. Later, I found a letter slipped under my door. The handwriting was unmistakable, Mia. My heart skipped a beat before I caught myself. I tore it open, read a few lines, and felt the familiar tug of longing and anger. She wrote about regret, about how she'd lost everything, and how she hoped I might forgive her. I folded the letter carefully. Not in anger, not in hatred, but in clarity. I didn't reply. Instead, I walked to the balcony, feeling the night air brush against my face. For the first time in years, I felt the quiet, steady peace that comes from making choices for yourself. Sophia joined me silently, holding 2 mugs of tea. You're different, she said softly. Calm, grounded. I like it. I'm learning, I admitted. Learning that happiness isn't about revenge or proving anything. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less. She smiled, nudging me gently. And you're not settling. I looked out at the city lights, thinking of the road I'd traveled, the heartbreak, the betrayal, the nights I thought I'd never recover. Every step had led me here. I choose peace over chaos, I murmured. I choose growth over pain. I choose myself. Sophia raised her mug in a quiet toast. To choosing you. I clinked mine against hers. For the first time, I didn't feel the weight of loss pressing down. I felt steady, strong, and free. And that, finally, that felt like victory. The grand ballroom buzzed with conversation, laughter, and clinking glasses. Lights reflected off polished floors and chandeliers, but I barely noticed the spectacle. My focus was sharper, my senses clearer. I wasn't the boy who felt invisible anymore. Sophia stood beside me, elegantly poised in a dark dress that made her eyes shine. She glanced at me and smiled softly. "You earned this," she said. I took a slow breath, letting the words sink in. "We earned this," I corrected. "I couldn't have done it alone." She squeezed my arm. "Still, look at you. The man you've become. I'm proud of you." I laughed lightly, the sound warm and unguarded. "I never thought I'd get here. Not after everything." "Everything made you stronger," Sophia said, her voice steady. "Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every moment you thought you'd break, you didn't." I nodded, watching the crowd. Faces blurred into a sea of admiration, but my attention was elsewhere. Ethan was gone, of course, his scandal and downfall had erased him from this world. Mia, too, had faded from the headlines, forgotten by the society that once idolized her choices. The people who once mattered now barely registered. A waiter passed, offering champagne. I accepted, raising the glass slightly. "To growth," I said softly. "To surviving the impossible." Sophia mirrored me, clinking her glass against mine. "To you," she said. "The man who refused to be broken." The warmth in her voice made my chest tighten. I realized then that this wasn't just about revenge or victory. It was about transformation. About choosing who I wanted to be, regardless of who tried to define me. A voice interrupted my thoughts. "Aiden, congratulations on the merger announcement." It was Daniel, shaking my hand firmly. "You've come a long way, kid." "Thanks," I said, smiling. "Couldn't have done it without your guidance." He nodded. "And don't forget, you didn't just grow financially. You grew as a person. That's rarer." I looked around again, the room spinning slightly with the weight of it all. The whispers of past pain, the echo of Mia's voice, the burn of Ethan's lies, they were still there, but distant now. Faded, powerless. Sophia leaned closer. "Do you feel it? That calm, steady feeling?" I nodded. "I do. I finally get it. I let go of what I couldn't control, and I grabbed what I could. My life, my choices, my happiness." She smiled, and for the first time, I realized I didn't need validation from anyone else. Not from Mia, not from Ethan, not from anyone who once had power over me. Later, as the event wound down, I found myself on the balcony. The city lights stretched endlessly before me, glittering like stars scattered across the earth. I inhaled deeply, letting the cool night air fill my lungs. Sophia came up behind me. "It's beautiful," she said quietly. "It is," I replied. "But it feels even better knowing I got here on my own terms." She rested a hand lightly on my shoulder. "And you're not done. This is only the beginning." I turned to her, a smile curling on my lips. "You've been with me every step of the way. I couldn't have asked for a better partner." She laughed softly. "And I wouldn't have it any other way." I returned my gaze to the city, lights reflecting in my eyes. I whispered, more to myself than anyone else, "I let her go once, but this time, I let myself go too." The words felt like a release, a final exhale of all the pain, all the anger, all the doubt that had once held me prisoner. I was free. Whole. Strong. And for the first time in my life, I truly felt complete.